Hey guys, it's Cat. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can improve input delay or ping in Fortnite as of Chapter 2, Season 4. It doesn't matter if you're on console, PC, whatever, most of the things I show in today's vid should work for everyone. Now before we get into the video guys, if you are new around here, make sure to drop a like and sub to the channel, it really helps out a lot. Anyway, let's get into the first tip. So to start things off, straight as we're loading into Fortnite, instead of selecting Battle Royale like you probably do normally, I strongly recommend clicking Creative instead. Basically, all this does is improves overall performance and even FPS, and of course you can always select solos, duos, and whatever game mode you want from here. For the second tip, we're going to load up a creative server, but before we do that, make sure that you select your matchmaker region to the one that gives you the lowest millisecond ping. For instance, my one is Europe. This is better than just using auto because it connects you to the closest sub-server instead of just force connecting you to a random one in your region. This just improves your overall connection and should make your game feel a lot more responsive. Anyway, moving on. While you're in the creative server, if you just want to warm up, do some free builds, whatever, I recommend using this map right here. I'll put the code on the screen for you guys now. As you can see, this is a completely flat map, so the game doesn't have to render as many builds and uses hardly any memory at all. Just for an extra tip, if you put this map in all the featured islands possible, that will also help out a lot, because the game doesn't need to render things in the other featured maps. These maps are normally filled with builds, which in turn decreases overall performance. However, if you don't want to do this and you prefer to play on your own map, I'd recommend creating a new map with the grid island. Like you can see, it's near the bottom here. This is the most plain and simple map and is by far the best for low ping and input delay. So now I'm going to go through some of the in-game settings there are, which will give you a more responsive game experience. Firstly, you should definitely have motion blur off. I'm going to be honest, you won't see too much of a difference with this one, but it has been proven that this will give you slightly better performance, as it's one less thing the game has to think about. Now for the next tip, and probably one of the most important in my opinion, you should definitely have all replays turned off. If you didn't know, Fortnite records every single game you play, and because of this, it gives you slightly worse connection, and in turn, higher ping and input delay. So definitely turn all three of these off. For the next tip, we're going to go across to the controller options, so if you're playing keyboard or mouse, then you can just ignore this one. But anyway, if you're not already, you need to be playing on linear, especially in the current season. I can't stress enough how much this has helped me personally over the last few months. It honestly makes your game feel so much more responsive, and all your movements will feel more fast and instantaneous. Instead of a gradual input curve, it's very continuous, and can even help your aim and general movements, so definitely make sure you're using this setting. Now on to one of the last tips today, you want to be using quite a low dead zone. Most people say to keep this above 5%, but have it quite low, as it gets rid of any stick drift and makes movements faster and feel a lot smoother. I personally think anywhere from 7 to 12% is the best, but have a look at this yourself to see what works best for you. Scrolling down, you'll also see the foot controller options. Now, lots of people argue if having this on makes the game feel better or worse, so try it out for yourself and see what you think. For me, it just makes everything feel really smooth and responsive. Lastly, I shouldn't really have to say this, but make sure you're connected to your Wi-Fi router with a wired connection. Using a LAN cable helps so much with input delay and connection speeds, and obviously make sure you're using the most optimized DNS codes for your area. For me in the United Kingdom this is OpenDNS, but if you live in somewhere like Texas or one of the southern US states, you'll probably find that Google is probably the better option. Both of those codes will be on the screen now for you. That's about it for today guys, I really hope this helps some of you out. If you made it this far in the video, comment 300 down below, and if you enjoyed, make sure to like and sub. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.